Hello, welcome to Tutors of Life podcast, where we research life so you don't have to. Episode 211. This is your host, Shaun Tutor.
And this is Sam. This is a Tutor episode where we try to teach you something new.
What do you got for us, babe?
I think we should talk a little bit about health again.
Health. Okay.
Shaun and I, obviously, we've been out of 75 hard for a month.
Mm-hmm.
And we noticed, some things we've obviously, not reverted back to. Just, some little habits that we've, not kept up on, of 75 hard habits, I guess. But, overall, our health is better than it was before 75 hard.
Yeah.
And there's just been, a lot of shit, we keep, that keeps coming out in the news and stuff. So I just figured it's always a good time to talk about health again because it is the most important thing in life.
Yep.
If you listen to the podcast, you've heard us say this before. One of the first things that you will wish for on your deathbed is better health. So why wish for it on your deathbed when you can do something about it now?
There's three most important things in the world, in life.
Mm-hmm.
Health, relationships, money.
Mm-hmm. And the other two aren't important if you're dead.
Yep. Number one most important is health. Number two is relationships. Number three is money.
Mm-hmm.
Old Bradley quote.
Hell yeah. So, yeah, I just kind of think that we could talk about just some general health things that we've been reading and listening to lately.
Yeah.
Number one biggest thing, I don't know if I sent you this. This guy was speaking at some health conference, and he said if you wanted to learn what you should eat for a diet, you can go on to the CDC website or the WHO website and do the opposite of everything they say to do.
Yep. So yeah, their chart of what's good and what's bad. Reverse that.
Whatever they have is red, it's green. Whatever they have is green is red.
And take the food pyramid and stand it upside down and make your new pyramid in that order.
Yeah. A lot of the things coming out in news articles and stuff like that, in mainstream media, just do the opposite of what they say, to be honest. I've seen articles that eggs are bad for you. Eggs are probably one of the best foods for you.
Yeah, if you were to live on one source of food, a whole egg would be your most nutritious type of thing you could eat.
Because it has protein and fats? Cholesterol?
Protein, fats, cholesterols, and nutrients, yeah.
If you have high cholesterol, it's probably not because you're eating fats. It's probably because you're eating high processed foods.
And also, high cholesterol is not what it used to be. When they used to check people back in the 70s and 80s, it was not uncommon to see cholesterol scores of 300. And people were just fine and healthy back then.
Yeah.
Now, cholesterol, the high end where you go red is 200. So they try to keep you under 200 with all these medications and things. So what they did is they just changed what the average was for people, subtracted a bunch, and then made that the new high. And so, your cholesterol is really a lot less serious as you may think. And so you got your LDL cholesterol, which is typically your bad, and your HDL, which is good. But it has a lot less to do with your cholesterol number and a lot more to do with the density and size and buoyancy and things of your good HDL cholesterol, but nowhere, barely anywhere tests that. And so, it's, if you have a little higher cholesterol from eating red meats, lean red meats, eggs, extra protein, things like that, you're not really in a bad situation.
Yeah.
If you have high cholesterol because you eat processed foods all day long, that's a different story.
Yeah.
So you also have to, what we're saying with these things, there's also the caveats of if you have an unhealthy diet, that's not necessarily the case.
I also will mention I've had a lot of coworkers and people reach out to me to ask about good diets, and literally I just tell them sorry, that was a weird noise. To just, one, go to, like, a butcher to get your meats. There's been studies that come out that, like, Walmart's beef is only, like, what, 5% beef or something? Maybe it's a little bit more.
I don't know. I just know, like, a lot of that stuff. I don't know, like, because they say it's whatever the percentage is. But the main difference is places like Walmart, grocery stores in general, they tend to dye their meat.
Yeah.
Saying they dye their beef to make it look better.
Yep.
They dye their salmon and things like that. When really, like, if you get your stuff from a local butcher, you'll see the real color of meat.
Yeah, because it's more like a brownish color, not red.
Yeah.
But it is, I think a study did come out, though, that Walmart's beef is, like, not actually beef. It's, like, a whole bunch of fake meat.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyways.
I don't know the validity behind that. I do know that.
I mean, it makes sense. I remember eating, like, Walmart beef in college, and I couldn't do it because I was like, this just doesn't taste like beef.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's also that the quality of meat is way different.
True.
Very hormoned. Animals, it's not good.
Yeah. So get your meat from a butcher. If you find a good butcher, it probably actually is not that much more.
That's cheaper.
Yeah, I think our beef is cheaper at our
way cheaper
butcher than it is in the store.
The beef is, the chicken is, the pork is, everything.
Yeah. Do that. I highly suggest finding a place to get farm fresh eggs. I know in Eau Claire, there's like Coffee Grounds has them.
They really?
Yeah, I've seen them there. And then we were just driving around the country somewhere, and
Rivers.
no, there's somewhere when we were going to Rochester. We drove past a place that said like farm fresh eggs, and I was like, interesting. So you just got to look for it. Highly suggest that. Don't eat carbs. So like,
limit your carbs.
Yeah, but like pasta, bread, fruits and veggies are technically carbs. So don't, I mean, obviously go crazy on them, because carbs need insulin to break down into sugars. So if you're eating a lot of carbs and you're not burning it off, your body's storing that into fat. So if you limit your carbs, so like right now I've been, I only eat like the majority of carbs that I eat are around my workout times. Because I'm just burning it off right away. And it's actually like really helped my bloatedness. I used to get tired in the afternoons, so I can tell when I don't eat carbs around my workouts because I get tired a lot more in the afternoons. Also, fun little fact, they used to cure cancer by not eating carbs.
Yeah, so in like the 20s and 30s, they would take out sugars and carbs from diets to help cure cancer, because there was nothing then for the cancer cells to feed on.
Yeah.
Because apparently cancer cells feed best on carbohydrates and sugars.
So those are, I would say, the main things. Get a reliable place for meat, for eggs, limit your carbs.
Yeah.
If you want to be as plain and simple as possible.
That would, yeah, and then depending on what your goal is, either calorie surplus, like same calories if you want to maintain weight, or
a deficit if you want to lose. Yeah.
If you want to lose.
Oh, and fats are really good for you. They're really good for your brain health, which is why they're trying to convince people to not eat them, because they don't want us to have good brains.
Yeah, fats and cholesterol are really good for your brain.
Yes. So right now, like Shaun and I have been swapping out some of our carbs for avocados, and then we do eat like nuts. Use butter, not any kind of oil.
Fake stuff.
Yeah. So that's also a really good thing to keep in mind. Next, I would say, so if you complete those simple things, then you can go into a little bit more of a little more deeper with the foods. Get rid of any seed oils that you can. Aldi is honestly probably one of the best places to shop.
Yeah.
Literally everything that we get from Aldi doesn't have a seed oil in it, which is really nice. So our ketchup is literally just, what was it, tomatoes, sugar, and vinegar.
Yeah, it's a few things. It's not much.
Yeah, and that's most of the stuff we get from them. We had to stop getting mixed nuts because those have
Mixed nuts, rice cups.
Yep.
Like peanut butter, not natural peanut butter. You have to get natural peanut butter where the
oil separates.
The oil separates. You got to mix it up.
Yep. So I look for those things, to be honest. I mean, there's like salad kits from Aldi, and those have vegetable oils in them.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yep. And so, honestly, like, even down to, like, treats that we get from Mimi, her stuff doesn't even have vegetable or seed oils in it.
Yeah, there's like a medication for allergies, and it's just like packed with a bunch of shit, seed oils, vegetable oils, shit like that. I'm like, why?
Why do we have to put the shit in there?
Yeah, unnecessary. Okay, so with all that,
why are seed oils bad? Should we go into that quick?
Yeah.
So seed oils are, I can't remember the exact science of it, but I know for a fact, like, they do cause your skin to sunburn.
So yeah, the thing with seed oils is they hold in your fat. They hold like in a layer of your fat, and it's how our calories have pretty much stayed. The average calorie intake has pretty much stayed the same since like the 70s and the 80s, but the main difference is there's seed oils and everything now, and so seed oils has a lot to do, and the lack of movement, because calorie deficit has a lot to do with like having fat and like fatty tissue and stuff like that.
So I'm guessing the seed oils stores fat, and it's not like the fat that breaks down if you work out.
Yeah, so I think the thing behind it is like we can't break down seed oils well.
Right.
It's like almost like metals. So when we get metals in our brain and metals in our body, we can't break it down. So it just chills.
So yeah, that would make a lot of sense. That if seed oil stores fat and those don't break down, but like sugar stored as fat can at least break down by insulin.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. So yeah, they're really bad. There's lots of people. Honestly, if you get on the health train on Instagram, you can find a lot of good shit on there. I've seen people that are gingers with like really fair skin, and they said once they cut seed oils out, like after 2 or 3 years, they don't sunburn anymore.
Well, dude, so we cut seed oils out, and it was like 2 months into it, and I went and I worked outside all day long with my shirt off. It was like 85 degrees out, and I burned, but it didn't like hurt too bad. It was just like a little uncomfortable. The next day, it like didn't hurt, and it was already turning into tan.
Yeah, like 75% of it was gone already. And the same thing, we were at the Brewers game.
Yeah.
And I got really red the next day, tan.
Yep. Where before, like, I would have been burnt for days. I've been all messed up. Your nose used to be like...
Oh, very red.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, sometimes it gets a little pink when I get exposed to lots of sun in a day, but it only takes a day or two for it to go to a somewhat normal color now.
Yeah, it's crazy, like, what... There's definitely something to it. There's definitely something to it about it. Plus, if you ever just look up how they make, like...
Seed oils? Or no?
I looked up how they made vegetable oil, and it was the nastiest shit
I can only imagine,
I've ever seen. I was like, dude, and then we just eat this shit.
Yeah. Good oils to use. I mean, use butter. You can use olive oil. I have seen some videos, though, that olive oil is also getting sketchy because it's not, like, good brands making it. And then coconut oil is another good one.
And lard.
Lard, yes. So, yeah. Those...
Which you can get from the same butcher shops that you get your meat.
Yeah, we really should use ours sometime. We haven't yet. So, yeah, that is what I would say after you do those simple things and you want to amp up your diet, cut out seed oils.
Yep.
And Aldi is your place to go, man. It really is.
Absolutely.
Or I'm sure if you have like the sustainability stores,
oh, sure.
I'm sure like those are good ones too. Cool. You were about to say something earlier, and then I cut you off with.
I was actually just gonna talk about seed oils and shit.
Nice. That's good.
Yep.
Another thing, if you want to try, Sean and I haven't done this yet, but I think it would be for like, if you're trying to lose weight, probably wait till afterwards. Getting like actual fresh flour, so not white flour from the grocery store. There's lots of pesticides and stuff on the grain that they make flour from. So there's a lot of people that think or that say so many Americans have gluten intolerances because of these pesticides that are on the grains.
Yep.
So like Sean and I, like when we drink beer here, we get kind of stomach aches and like we feel really shitty the next day. We were drinking a ton of beer in Germany and felt great.
A lot of beer and Danishes and shit.
Dude, so
sandwiches,
much.
all sorts, and there's just no issues.
But it's because they don't spray their grains with pesticides.
Right.
You can, I believe, get some Italian flour and pasta off of Amazon. I haven't tried it yet. But
There's some shit too. There was another thing I was seeing that said that they actually, by bleaching the flour, the process of like bleaching it, actually, there's something that causes it to be like unhealthy, and that's why like heart disease and shit went up so much.
Yeah.
And that like the bleaching process takes the nutrients out of the grain.
Well,
And there,
yeah.
which is bleach, yeah. And there used to be, apparently bread used to be like good for you. Like it was good to eat bread, until they started the bleaching process.
Yeah. I think that's the same with eggs. Like you should be getting brown eggs because you got to think those white eggs didn't come out white. They're bleached.
But also, that's also, I don't know how true the brown egg thing is, because when you have chickens, they lay like different color eggs.
That's true. I have noticed though our Aldi brown eggs range in different shades of brown.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. The big thing is like when you crack the yolk, is it like a deep orange?
Yeah.
Or is it yellow?
Bright yellow, yeah.
If it's yellow, then it's like not real nutrients, not real. It's just farmed chickens. Or if you get like a nice deep orange egg, the yolk is orange.
Yeah, we can even tell with like, because we get the cage-free organic.
Yeah, that's still not even on a caliber of farm fresh eggs.
It's like a sunrise orange. I don't know. It's like a lighter orange. And then you still compare it to a farm fresh orange and you're like, fuck, that is so much.
Comparable.
Yeah.
And they don't taste near as good either.
But anyways, so why is this so important? Because I've said this so many times. In order to control a country, they want you uneducated and scared. So one main thing is if we make the population bigger and lazy and all this, then we're going to just want to rely on the government. And the more we rely on the government, the more they can make us uneducated and the more they can scare us with shit. And like, if you're bigger, I'm sure you're not going to feel like you can protect yourself as well as if you're fit. And it was really funny because there's some news articles saying that being fit means you're part of alt-right fascist groups.
Yeah. Yeah, you're an ultra-conservative if you're healthy now.
Yeah.
If you work out.
I love that.
Yeah, if you work out, you're an ultra-conservative now. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. But so, if you want to beat the system and you want to not let them control you, eat better foods. And honestly, like, it helps clear your mind, even.
Oh, dude, huge. People, you don't understand. Most people don't understand. Do this for me. Go on a car ride. Make it about 8 hours. If you can go on an 8-hour car ride. And I guess you haven't got to do that. You just have to take a couple, like, 2-hour car rides. If you can take a couple, like, 2-hour car rides, at the beginning of one, eat, like, meat. Maybe some meat and cheese. Maybe some fats. But, like, do not eat carbs, okay? And drive for your 2 hours and see how you feel. Then, try again, and don't eat that. Start out by eating, like, a donut and maybe, like, fucking some sort of quick trip sandwich or something, right? Then go drive for 2 hours and see how you feel. Your brain is way foggier. You're going to be fighting to not fall asleep.
Yep.
And the big issue like right now is we just ate dinner and we had carbs with dinner and we didn't do anything. So I'm like hurting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like tired.
Yep.
But yeah, so like your brain gets foggy the more carbs you eat. And if you don't want to take it from me because I'm just some fucking apparently ultra conservative who lifts weights,
Yeah.
alt-right guy, the least alt-right guy, Matthew McConaughey,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
talks about this in his book, Green Lights. He said his mind has never been as sharp as when he was cutting and he was only eating, he'd eat like salad, which is nothing. It's just leaves.
Yeah.
A chicken breast. He'd have like a glass of wine. No, he wouldn't have wine. He'd have only a little vodka. And he'd have like some nuts, like some fats.
Yeah.
He said he never felt as good, sharp, like mentally that good as he was when he was living that kind of diet. So there's something to do with like, it's almost like the less you eat of carbs, the sharper your mind can be.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've noticed big time.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed that's huge, yeah.
Fun thing. Did you know, like, the insulin industry is what, like, wasn't it like $11 billion industry?
Insulin?
Yeah.
110 billion, I think, something like that.
Something outrageous. So why do you think they would want to tell you how to be healthy and not be on insulin?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's the diabetes and like diabetes, insulin, all that. That market is a $115 billion market.
Yeah. So, because I think it's like on the diabetes website or whatever, they give you
The ideal breakfast.
Yes. And it was what, orange juice and oatmeal
Oatmeal with some honey.
with some honey. Do you want to know what that is? Carbs and sugars. So that means you're going to eat that. It's going to spike your insulin. And it'll make you crash later on. But, like, you need insulin to burn all that. So no wonder why you need, like, it's just so idiotic. Ugh, I just love it. Not really. That was sarcasm. So you got to be careful of all this stuff. They want big pharma is honestly in everything. It's in politicians. It's in literally everything. So to not have to rely on that, you need to start taking care of yourselves.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be hard to find.
Yeah, I probably won't be able to. But anyways, so carbs are bad for you, literally. I mean, I feel like in like ancient times too, they probably only had for sweets was like fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And fruits aren't in everywhere. Like, so you got to think in northern states, the only fruits we would have gotten would have been raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. And you can only do so much of it, like, throughout the year. I mean, you can make some jams and preserve them and whatnot, but, like, up here, we really didn't get a whole lot of fruits and veggies.
Right.
But I think those have to obviously break down so much easier than, like, refined sugar and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you got any other food tips? Easy food tips.
Not offhand. 1 second. I'm getting close to finding this.
Okay, so to summarize a recap. Get your meats from good sources. Limit your carbs. If you want to eat carbs, do it around a workout. Cut out seed oils. And then what was the last thing? What did we just talk about?
Seed oils?
Seed oils. After seed oils. I'm blanking. Why am I blanking?
I'm sorry.
Seed oils, and then we were talking about insulin. Why were we talking about insulin? I don't know. Sean's too distracted to help me recap.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. I was trying to find this. It's not easy.
I'm well aware.
Sorry. Okay, I'm done. I tried. What do you got?
Recapping. What did we talk about after seed oils?
I don't remember.
Oh, if you're gonna eat carbs, to
Do their own workouts?
no, to you can get like flour and stuff from
Oh,
Italy because we use
yeah.
pesticides.
Well, yeah, that's getting into a whole nother thing about pesticides and all that shit that's in our food. Not eating corn. Don't eat really anything that's corn based because the corn is all pesticides.
Yeah.
Now. 93% of the corn,
Mm,
90% of the corn in the U.S.
yeah.
is just covered in pesticides,
Yeah.
genetically modified.
The your best luck for corn is probably like when people set up stands on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
That would be your best luck to get like good quality corn.
I'm just talking like there's so many things that's corn based.
Oh yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? There's a lot of corn in food.
yeah.
And typically anything like that's going to be a thing to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Whole foods is going to be your number one thing to like stay away from all fucking shit. If you can do mostly whole foods, you're going to be in a pretty good situation.
Yeah. So after that, you have to move. You have to work out.
Yeah, okay, so here's something important. So if you go for a 10-minute W, we can't say the full word, WALK. If you go for a 10-minute one of those after every meal you have, especially, very important, any meal you have carbs with, which we should have done this. Right? Am I?
We should have, but we were
Boom,
also
thank you.
watching TV for like 20 minutes after we ate.
Exactly. And like I said, we should have stopped that and went and did one.
Anyway.
So right after you eat, you go on a 10-minute one of these, spikes your insulin,
Mm-hmm.
your natural insulin production. By spiking that, you're able to break down your sugars. And so it's a way to like help digest and break down the shit you just ate, so that you don't go into like a crash,
Mm-hmm.
like what I'm in right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a huge thing. If you are eating and then you're eating carbs, do a 10-minute W immediately afterwards to help boost your insulin and break down your sugars.
Mm-hmm. Another good thing is by working out, you're naturally producing more testosterone. So that's really good for men and
women.
And women, yes. So all of these things in general too, like eating these better foods, working out, it helps balance your hormones. So I know like so many women and so many men talk about, like women especially talk about balancing their hormones. A lot of it is food and then a little bit of working out. Men especially, like men's testosterone is so low nowadays, and just working out helps spike that so much more. Just to go off another food thing, cut out soy. Don't drink soy milk, tofu, fucking anything with soy in it. Just do not do it. It is a huge hormone disruptor. It spikes estrogen so much. So if you're a woman and you know you're like drinking lots of soy and you're really moody, that's probably why. Your estrogen is way too high.
Yep.
And so yeah, work out. You don't even have to do anything hard. Like we said, you can go for a 10-minute W after every meal, and that is something to at least help yourself.
Yep.
Obviously during 75 hard, we would lift weights for 45 minutes, and we also would do a 45-minute W. Now we're kind of just at least lifting weights 45 minutes 5 days a week. We try to do 6 or 7, but we got very irresponsible this weekend. But at least, I mean, try to lift weights a little bit, even if it's just moving some 5-pound dumbbells around. Those are really cheap to get. Going on W's, even just doing push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, anything helps. And you can work yourself up to it too. You don't have to immediately go to a 45-minute workout. Because I know there's people out there that are going to get motivated to do this, work out for an hour, and then the next day they're going to be so sore and just regret life and stop doing it. So even if you're just doing it for 5 minutes a day for a couple weeks, and then you bump it up to 10 minutes a day, and just slowly work yourself up there, like it's so much better than just not doing anything.
Yeah, health is about consistency, not about like, it's about consistency, not, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know, like bursts.
Yeah.
All I keep thinking of is like building a proper log fire and, you know, like slowly like starting the fire and making it grow and you properly add the logs to it, or you just throw lighter fluid on it and light it, and then it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's just
that.
like woof, and then it goes out.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's about frequency
Mm-hmm.
every day. Boom, boom, boom. So anyways, yeah. When you like for your diet and your exercise, very, very much consistency. That is key over the long term.
Mm-hmm.
And then work your way up. Maybe you only consistently eat well to start out 30% of the time. But like we worked into where we're like 95%.
Yeah.
And so.
And usually we have one bad week and we're just like, we can't do this again.
Yeah. Yeah, we have bad weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, it's huge to do that. But here's another thing. If you want to be somewhat of a fatty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gain muscle.
Yes.
For every 5 pounds of muscle, for every 5 pounds of lean muscle mass you have, you burn an extra 100 calories. My break even, if I just sit on my ass and do nothing, I have to eat 2,750 calories a day to maintain. Just doing nothing. So when I start working out and shit, most days I gotta eat around 3,500 to 4,000 calories. It's actually terrible. But what I'm getting at here is, if you want to be a fatty and you want to eat some shit, put on muscle mass. It'll naturally burn,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, and also muscle mass, especially as you're aging, protects you from injury. So if you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, it's more important to lift, whether you're a male or female, more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's like the number one cause of fucking people when they that get hospitalized when they're older?
Hip
Falls.
fractures. Yeah.
Yep, hip fractures. They fall, break a hip. So like.
And then they just slowly start deteriorating and pass
Absolutely.
away a lot faster than they
Yep.
should.
So it's huge, huge, huge. As you age, the number one thing they look for is falls. If you have muscle built up, it's a lot less likely you're going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do fall, you're a lot more apt to like rebound quickly.
Yeah.
So it is the most important thing you can do is lift weights outside of your diet.
Yes.
Diet, movement, weights is huge.
Yep.
So.
There was one more quick thing I wanted to say about health, and I forgot what it was because we were talking about weights. Get off your phones, get off of TV. That is just something that they make it so it's very addictive. So you'll just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and then not do anything else, not do the movement or, you know, make food. Making food honestly doesn't take that long. If you're doing like simple things, we just make cheeseburgers and rice or chicken and rice, and it really doesn't take that long, and it still tastes great. Mm-hmm. If you obviously want to do some research on like some healthy things off of Instagram, put a time limit, 10 minutes. That's it, because that at least it is a good source to learn stuff from, I would say. But then at least it gives you a stopping point and you just set it down and walk away and just don't look at it again. Another thing. They also put in these processed foods are made to be addictive. So, like Shaun and I, we crave some things. I'm sure we crave Culver's, we crave whatever.
Bro, I don't ever crave Culver's.
I haven't recently. Actually, ever since 75 Hard, I haven't craved much fast food. They put things in there to make them addictive. So if you eat it once, you're going to want it again and again and again and again. So you have to just get the discipline to force yourself to not eat it. And then you won't think about it after a while. Mm-hmm. I'd say probably 2, maybe 3 weeks. And your body stops craving those things.
Yeah.
But as soon as you now a lot of fast foods actually don't taste good to Shaun and I, thankfully. A lot of bad foods in general, one just doesn't make us feel good. We don't crave it. It doesn't taste good. And so why force ourselves to keep eating something that doesn't taste good and makes us feel bad? So you really do just have to put yourself through the first couple of weeks, and it becomes so much easier to not eat those shitty things.
Yeah.
Same with chips and stuff like that. Those have
Dude,
addictive
if
things
you
in
want to
it.
feel like shit, eat potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Well, don't eat potato chips for like 2 months and then eat a potato chip.
Yeah.
Then you will feel really gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a pretty good quick start guide for getting healthy. I highly suggest don't try to do all of this at once. It is a lot, and like 75 hard for us wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be because we already had so many good habits in place, but we had to work up to having those good habits in our life. So it's going to be so much harder for you to flip a switch and to immediately switch to eating all healthy foods, working out, all this. I would say slowly grow and inch your way further, because being 1% better today is better than none.
Yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, the big thing is when we got to 75 hard, our main things we were trying to get away from, at least for me, was sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And because at that point, I had already built up my diet to be where it was.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't even concerned about, like, my normal eating. I was already 85% clean. My main shit I would mess up with is, like, my main issue was sweets.
Yeah.
And so then when I did 75 hard, didn't have sweets for 75 days, it was like, oh, damn, okay, that's actually not that bad. And so, yeah, like, this took 5 years of work to get here, to where we're at for our diets to be as clean as it is. So, yeah, just start by choosing one thing you're going to start working on, and just get good at just that. So maybe the first step I ever took towards any of this was in 2018, and I cut out bread and pasta, because I used to eat bread and pasta multiple times a day. I cut out bread and pasta, and I substituted it with potatoes and rice. I lost 10 pounds in 10 days. Boom, just like that. That was the first thing I did to cut out on this journey. And then I just like kept adding shit onto that. And now I eat sourdough bread.
Yeah. We do want to try getting some like good pesticide free wheat and like making our own bread, but that's probably a ways down the road yet.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, try our own homemade bread. We'll do that. But yeah, so that's just start with one little thing.
And
see what it goes.
We're not saying it's going to take you 5 years to get to 95% of consistency with food. We probably have been more dedicated in the past year than we have been the previous 4.
Yeah. Yep.
So it honestly probably will take a year of dedication to get your diet really good down, and maybe like a start in working out. You probably could actually do it in a year easily. Be very consistent with everything.
Dude, you can easily get all this shit done in a year if you want. You just gotta take it seriously.
A big thing, because this is something that my coworkers have brought up. You have to be patient. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 6 weeks. It's probably not going to happen in 3 months. It will take a while to lose like the weight and to like start seeing some differences. I mean, even the group that we did 75 hard with, like they did see some subtle changes, but it wouldn't be as much as you would think from doing such an intense challenge.
It's yeah, all like it's about consistency.
Yeah,
that's it. It's about the consistency. It's not about like spurts. And so I've been training for 14 years. Shit just don't happen overnight, and don't expect it to. I know so many people who would like come to the gym and want to look like me, and they train for 6 months and get pissed off because they don't look like me, and they quit. And I'm like, oh dude, you only got 13 more years. Like, oh, 13, you just keep it up for 13 more years, bro.
And here's a good lesson. Literally, my first year of lifting, we did that push-pull meet.
Yeah.
And there's one other girl that I competed against. The following year or two, she took lifting very, very seriously, and I didn't. She looked good as fuck. And I remember telling Shaun, like, man, if I would have taken lifting seriously these past 2 years, I would look just like that. Because her and I were very, like, similar body type, size, everything. So don't be that person where you see someone in a similar situation as you don't take it seriously, and then in 2 years you could be like, fuck, I could be there if I would have taken it seriously. Do it now. Do it today, because who knows?
Well, yeah, I do know a guy who did decide to take it seriously lifting. Showed him 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Fucking dude looks as good as I do now.
Yeah.
My abs are a little better still. But, I mean, dude, you're talking 2 years is able to knock out what I did in, 14, whatever. Because of, like, the pure dedication.
Yeah. And you have to enjoy the process. I now enjoy lifting. Like, I crave to go to the gym. I didn't really crave to go to the gym for the first 2-3 years I had lifted. Actually, even before 75 hard, I would only go like 3 times a week. And now I die if I don't go 5 times a week. So, that's what I got. Do we want to do a quick recap again, or no?
We can do a quick recap. Good. You already forgot.
Get good meats, eggs.
Get good meats from a local butcher shop and get farm fresh eggs.
Yep.
Okay.
Limit your carbs, or eat them around workouts.
Limit carbs, and if you want to have carbs, try to eat them around workouts.
Yep.
Take 10-minute W's after meals, especially if the meals are with carbs.
Yes. No seed oils. Cut out seed oils.
Fats are good for you, and cholesterol is good for you.
That's what we talked about after the seed oils.
Fats and cholesterol are good for you. Actually, this one we haven't brought up. Creatine is very healthy for men and women to take every day.
And if someone tells you otherwise, they don't know.
Dude, research the shit out of that, dude. It went from being like early 2000s, like 2010, dude, you were on steroids if you took creatine, to now, people are like, doesn't matter if you're a woman or a man, you should take creatine every day.
Yeah, someone tried telling me that creatine gives men boobs.
I got some titties.
You get some good pecs.
That's right.
Yes. Creatine.
I actually quit taking creatine for 5 years. I just started again because all that shit that says so good.
And if Andy Frisella looks as good as he does, I'm assuming he takes creatine.
He takes more than creatine.
Yeah, I'm not too worried.
He takes more than creatine, baby.
Well, we know that. Jesus. Oh, man.
Anyways. So
that's...
Diet.
Just start moving. Just start. Do a W after eating.
Yep.
Lift weights if you are more heavy set, because you're going to burn fat a lot quicker.
Yep.
Once again, dumbbells are not that expensive.
You shouldn't say quicker. You're going to burn fat a lot better over the long run.
Yes.
Because you can take and drop weight fast, but then you're going to plateau, where if you put on muscle, you might gain a little weight.
Yeah.
Or not, or kind of stay the same. But that's good because you're just building up muscle, which will then every single day that you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to be more and more in a calorie deficit, burning that shit.
When I started lifting, I gained 10 pounds. It took a solid 6 months to lose that 10 pounds. I gained 10 pounds in the first month. Took another 6 months to lose it. There you go.
That also had to do with eating with me.
Yeah, Shaun was not the healthiest eating. Anyways, start moving, lift weights. Yeah. Just watch what you're putting in and out of your body. Your body is a machine. Your body's a car. If you put shitty oil in the machine, it's going to run like shit. Fucking put good shit in it.
Love it. Put premium in it.
Put premium in it. There you go.
Cool.
That's what we got. The most important thing is personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion. So if you want to say, fuck you, government, this is how you do it.
Love it. Be fit, be healthy, and get better.
Hell yeah.
Okay, bye.
See ya.